What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast, and in today's video I'm going to be seeing if I can land some unshielded zap cannons from Attack Deoxys in the Open Great League. Yes, you heard that right, that's Attack Deoxys paired with Zap Cannon. That's the single highest damaging combination of Pokemon and charge move in the game by quite a long distance. So just a quick disclaimer, there's going to be quite a lot of talking before I begin the battles. So if you do want to skip all of that, if you want to go straight to the battles, then I will leave a timestamp in the description, and as well this will create a chapter so you can just scroll along the bottom, and then when you find the chapter labeled battles you can click on that and you can go straight to the battles. But if you do want to hear me ramble on about how difficult this challenge was, and as well talk about the question of the day, as well as shouting out some of my subscribers for their answers from the previous video, then just continue watching like you're already doing. If you didn't know already, Attack Deoxys has the highest attack stat in the entire game, and at a Great League CP, it's not even a competition. The next highest attack weighted Pokemon is nowhere near as attack weighted as Deoxys. My particular Deoxys has an IV distribution of 12, 14, 14, and its attack is 257.6. If we compare that to another very glassy attack weighted Pokemon in Haunter, you'll see that its attack stat doesn't even reach 160 as a rank 1, so we've got nearly 100 more attack than a very attack weighted Pokemon, so I don't need to say any more than that. And then Zap Cannon is the joint second highest damage charge move out of all charge moves in the game, second to only Aeroblast, which is Lugia's exclusive move. So this combination is going to deal a ton of damage. Just so you can get an idea of how much damage this charge move is going to do, let's look at a few matchups against some Pokemon that you may or may not see in the Great League. So to start things off with Registeel, it's a neutral charge move against Registeel, and it's actually going to deal over 100% damage, meaning that if we had no fast move damage at all, if I just go straight for a Zap Cannon, that's going to one hit KO a Registeel. Registeel is extremely bulky and it's getting one shot by a neutral charge move. Now if we look at a Shadow Gyarados, this is actually going to do nearly 600% damage. That's enough to kill an extended family of Gyarados, and that is absolutely insane. Now, the thing about this challenge, whilst it seems really cool, it was actually extremely difficult, and I'm going to run you through why that is in just a sec. But before I do that, I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that commented on my previous GBL video, the shiny fossils from the Kanto region, because all of you commented on that video helped push the video out to a wider audience. And if I look at the performance, it's already got 1k more views than any of my more recent GBL videos. So thank you to everyone that commented. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a question of the day type of thing in every GBL video to try and engage more interactions, more comments, and like I said as well, I'm going to be shouting out my favourite responses. So to start things off, I'm going to shout out Jasper0930. They said Taurus and Hitmonlee, and in particular I really liked Hitmonlee. Hitmonlee currently you don't see ever unless you're in like really low ranks, and that's because its fast moves are absolute garbage. It's got Rock Smash and Low Kick, both of them awful damage, awful energy generation, just awful in every sense of the word. It does have some decent charge moves in Stone Edge and Close Combat. He mentions that you could give it counter, but that would be boring because both the other Hitmons already learn counter, so he'd like to see a buff to Low Kick and either energy generation or damage. Both would be ideal, and I really like that response. If you go to his channel, you'll see that he's got a few GBL short videos, so definitely go check him out. To add on to that, I'm actually going to be looking at Magma Man 26's response to that comment, and he says that Hitmonlee also learns Blaze Kick in the main series games. Currently Blaze Kick is only learnt by Blaziken. It's not a very good move, in all honesty. It's an exact copy of Fire Punch. Same energy, same damage, even the same typing. It's kind of weird that an exclusive move is pretty lackluster. So he said if we saw a buff to Blaze Kick as well, and then added onto Hitmonlee with a buff to Low Kick, then that would be a really cool combination, and I completely agree with him. he doesn't make any YouTube videos, unfortunately. And finally, I'm going to shout out Mega Mew. They want to see Seadra get a bait charge move, and I thought this was a really interesting comment. I hadn't even thought about Seadra. Currently it learns Dragon Breath and a ton of higher energy charge moves like Blizzard, but if I had a bait move, then it could certainly become more viable, especially in certain cups. So I thought that was a really unique comment, so that's why I'm shouting them out. If you check out their channel, they do a lot of raid challenge content and as well some Team Rocket content, so if you're interested in that, then make sure you check out their channel. And with that being said, the question of today's video is going to be, for getting Attack Form Deoxys, which other Pokemon have extremely hard-hitting nuke charge moves that they're just never going to get to? That could either be because they're also extremely frail, or it could be because the energy generation of their fast moves is absolutely awful. So to give you an example, a Razor Leafer with Solar Beam is going to find it very difficult to get to that move because it's such a high energy move, and Razor Leaf has awful energy generation. So let me know in the comments, and I once again will be shouting out my favorite responses in the next GBL video. Shifting the focus back towards today's video, this challenge was extremely difficult for a number of reasons. Firstly, Attack Form Deoxys is so attack weighted, it's going to struggle a lot to get to the Zap Cannon. You've seen it in other videos, it barely manages to get to a Psycho Boost, which is 35 energy, but Zap Cannon actually costs 80 energy. That means it takes 12 poison jabs to get to the Zap Cannon, so Attack Form Deoxys needs to survive for more than 12 seconds in a battle, which in itself is extremely difficult. So you're going to need to go up against Pokemon with very low fast move pressure, something like a Cresselia with Psycho Cut or Registeel with Lock On. Even if you go up against a Galarian Stunfisk with Mud Shot, still does 7 damage, so you are barely going to be able to survive for 12 Mud Shots in order to get off the Zap Cannon. So yeah, this is extremely difficult. So one of the things that I wanted to do was use some Pokemon that have attack debuffing moves like Icy Wind, like Lunge, like Bubble Beam, so that way I could maybe get more farm on the Deoxys to give me a better chance of getting to the Zap Cannon. But this creates more problems because firstly, they don't add much shield pressure. No one's going to be shielding a ton of bubble beams, or at least they shouldn't be. So I need to get shields from somewhere else. And as well as that, even if I lower their attack by 4 stages, which is the full amount, I need to leave that Pokemon with enough health for me to farm it down and get a ton of energy on the Deoxys, which is very unrealistic in most scenarios. So just that combination of things makes this challenge extremely difficult. But with that being said, let's just go into the battles and see how we did. So hopping into the first battle here, just a quick disclaimer, I'm not going to be showing you all my battles because I actually tried this out for a few days because that's how difficult the challenge was. We lead into an Altaria there, they took ages to switch out. I'm going to go for an Icy Wind against the Alomomola. I'm actually going to farm up to another Icy Wind before switching into the Mantine here, and actually on this Mantine I'm running Bullet Seed because I want to deal less damage and have more opportunities to throw Bubble Beams. In this scenario, Bullet Seed is actually super effective, so it is better for me. And once again, the aim here is not to deal damage, it's just to lower the attack of this Alomomola. I'm not going to shield again either, I want to save my shields for the Deoxys, going for another Bubble Beam here. I don't really expect to get any shields, but I do get the first shield, and that is awesome, that's really what I need. Going for another Bubble Beam here, and I am gonna go for an Ice Beam here, and this will take them out if they decide not to shield it. But I get the final shield, so that is what I wanted. But the problem here is that their Alomomola has almost no health remaining, so I'm going to shield up the Psychic here, and I actually only get 2 poison jabs worth of energy there, so that was all for nothing pretty much. They're going to come in with the Altaria, I switch into the Dugong, instantly go for the Icy Wind, we take them out, and they have a Galarian Stunfisk in the back. Now here, once again, not going to shield up the Dugong, I'm just going to go for an Icy Wind, lower their attack, and I am going to hope that they throw the second rock slide pretty much as soon as they get to it. So we're staying in here. They throw it, and that's probably straight away, so I'm going to let it go through, and we have a chance here to land the Zap Cannon. I come in with the Deoxys, and we don't get the poison jab through. Is that going to cost us? Is that going to mean that we don't get to the Zap Cannon? It is, and unfortunately we were one poison jab away from landing the Zap Cannon, and at that range it would even take out a Galarian Stunfisk, which double resists the Zap Cannon. But unfortunately, if the game functioned the way it should do, we would have been able to win that game and land the Zap Cannon against a G-Fisk. Into this game, we lead into Azumarill, we switch into the Mantine here, and we're going straight for an Ice Beam. It does massive damage against the Altaria. We farm up to another Ice Beam, and we're going for the Bubble Beam here. We get a shield, and that is ideal. That's exactly what we want. We want to get shields down. We're going to let the Sky Attack go through, and we're still going to be able to get to an Ice Beam here, and this will easily take out the Altaria here if they choose not to shield, and they don't, so we take them out, and we flip switch advantage, and we got a shield down, which is perfect. We come back in with Dugong. Now unfortunately we can only hit for resisted damage, so I'm actually going to shield up the first play rough, go for an Icy Wind, and then at that point I don't really need to shield up the following play roughs because they're going to deal less damage each time. So I let the play rough go through. They actually switch into an Umbreon, so that is good because we certainly don't want to see that lined up against the attack form Deoxys in the back. Sorry, I'm getting my words muddled up here. They actually have Dark Pulse on the Umbreon, so it means it's going to be a little bit slower to get to the second move here, so I'm able to get to the Icy Wind. They decide to go over and get an extra Snarl through, which is the right play there. I'm actually going to let the Dark Pulse go through. I'm going to see if I can get to another Icy Wind, but they throw straight away, so that is perfect. And at this point, they actually had Foul Play, so what? They had Dark Pulse and Foul Play, which is very bizarre. But we have lowered their attack so much that even the Snarls, super effective, don't do that much damage. They come in with the Azumarill. I'm going for the Zap Cannon, and will they decide not to shield this up? Of course not, they're going to shield it, and I go down to the bubble there, and I lose that game. So could have easily won that if I went for the double Psycho boost, but I really wanted to land the Zap Cannon, and that would have just been the biggest BM ever. Into this game, we led into the Trevenant, we catch the Seed Bomb, and they come in with a Confusion Cresselia. So this is awesome because I can lower their attack 4 times with the Bubble Beam. It's not going to do an awful lot of damage to the Cresselia, and the Cresselia still is going to have to throw a charge move to take out the Mantine here. So I'm just throwing these Bubble Beams as soon as I reach them. At this point, the Cresselia is already 3-stage debuffed, and I'm going to let the move go through here. Grass Knot doesn't take us out. I actually get to a 4th Bubble Beam here, so they are going to be fully debuffed now, and they still have nearly half their health remaining. So I'm going to come in with the Deoxys. I get a Poison Jab in for free. I'm going to have to shield the Grass Knot, even though it is 4-stage debuffed, and they actually get to a second charge move, so I'm going to double shield here, but I have managed to get a decent amount of farm here. I expect them to come in with the Trevenant, but they actually came in with Umbreon, and if I'd have just stayed in, gone for the Zap Cannon, there's almost no chance that they shield, even with 2 shields, and maybe I would have been able to nuke the Umbreon there, but I expected them to come in with the Trevenant, so I switched out, and at this point I don't think we're going to be able to land a Zap Cannon anymore. I do finally get a shield from the Umbreon here. They go for the Foul Play. It's not doing much damage at this point. I'm going to go for the Overfarm here, and I get an extra Ice Shard through. Foul Play definitely won't take us out. They actually go for a Last Resort, which maybe that makes sense because it does deal more damage. So we go for another Icy Wind here. I'm going for yet another Icy Wind, so this Umbreon is going to be fully debuffed now, and they go for another charge move here. So right after this, I'm going to switch into the Deoxys, but unfortunately they switch into the Trevenant. I go for a Psycho boost, but they already got a Shadow Claw through. It's going to take us out and then take out my Dugong there. So I did have the opportunity to land it on an Umbreon in that match, but I chose to switch out because I anticipated the Trevenant coming back in. So that is unfortunate, but we're going to keep on trying. We led into a Medicham here. They switch out into a Melmetal to catch the Bubble Beam, and this is perfect. Melmetal is a great Pokemon for me to farm down with poison jabs as they're double resisted, and as well the Thunder Shock's deal almost no damage already, so that is perfect. Because I've debuffed it twice, the Rock Slide didn't KO, and I'm actually going to get to another Bubble Beam here. I really hope that they throw straight away, and it looks like that's exactly what they're doing. So once again, no shields used. I come in with the Deoxys, and I'm going to farm up as much as possible. It looks like we are going to have to double shield this Deoxys, but I'm okay with doing so. They actually switch out of the Deoxys into a Azumarill, so we're going for it. We get to the Zap Cannon, and they shield it again. Ah, so disappointing, but like I said, it's extremely difficult to get shields down whilst using the debuffing moves, so they are pretty much always going to shield. And at this point, I don't hit any bubbles on the Icy Wind. I think I completely got distracted by something else, and I just quit the battle. Didn't get what I was looking for, so there's no point continuing there. And now, I think at this point, I dropped down so low that my hidden elo was like way lower than it normally is, and you might see some interesting moves on certain Pokemon. Here, they're staying in with a Venomoth. I could have an Aerial Ace, so I go for the Ice Beam here. I actually get a shield, so maybe that was a chance for me to lower their attack with the Bubble Beam, but I got a shield, so I'm happy with that. You see here, I've actually switched into a Politoed because I realized that I needed some shield pressure, so the spam of Weather Ball from Politoed is hopefully going to be able to get shields down. And here, we've gotten both shields from this Venomoth, so I'm in a pretty good position here. I'm going to go for a Weather Ball here, and this should deal a pretty decent chunk to the Venomoth, and I overfarmed by mistake. I wasn't really paying attention once again. Very stupid on my part, but that's fine. This Bubble Beam will take them out, and hopefully I'm going to be able to Bubble Beam whatever comes in, and it's actually a Zen Headbutt Hypno, so I've got a real good chance of actually doing this here. And I'm going to get to another Bubble Beam, and maybe that was even a CMP tie if they're running an Elemental Punch. And it was, so that is perfect. I'm going to let this go through, and hopefully I can farm down with Deoxys. It was a Thunder Punch, so I'm going to look to farm down here. And I'm able to get to the farm down, and I Zap Cannon, but it's a Nidoking, so it's a ground type, and this is going to be double resisted, but it does so much damage. Finally, we landed it, but we ended up losing that game, which is hilarious. Yeah, against pretty much anything that isn't a ground type, and I could have landed the Zap Cannon and completely nuked it, but it just happened to be a Nidoking there, so we're going to be trying once more, and we led into a Wall Rain here. So we're just lowering the attack here. I'm going to switch into a Shadow Politoed, sorry, to catch the Icicle Spear there. And we're going to let another one go through. We have debuffed their attack, so these Icicle Spears aren't chunking as much as they would do normally. I'm faking the Earthquake, going for a Weather Ball instead. They switch out into an Altaria, so I mean, we didn't have the Earthquake for the Wall Rain, but Blizzard is going to boom this Altaria out of the sky. We're able to get to another Weather Ball. It looks like this Wall Rain is going to try and commit to farming us down. We get a shield from them finally, so we got both shields, and we're going to get to another Weather Ball here, and this will nearly take them out. I'm going to come in with the Mantine here. The Bullet Seed went through, so we'll be able to take out the Wall Rain. They come in with the Galarian Stunfisk, and I'm going to Bubble Beam them here. I'm really hoping that they throw their energy straight away, and they're not throwing, so that is not great. I really don't want them to overfarm. I get to a second Bubble Beam here, and they're finally going to throw a charge move. This won't KO. It's actually an Earthquake, so I'm thinking maybe I've gone so low that this opponent isn't even running a second move on their Stunfisk. They go for another Earthquake, so they almost definitely have just Earthquake, and it means I get to the Zap Cannon against this Stunfisk, and even double resisted. We take out the Stunfisk, and we're able to take that game. So we finally won a battle, but once again up against a lesser opponent there, so I eventually went up a little bit higher, won a bunch more games, and now I'm trying once more to see if I can land a Zap Cannon. Hopefully this time we can deal more than just 30 to 40% of their health and win a game here. So I led into a Marowak. I managed to get a shield with the bubble beam, which is perfect. They come in with an Azumarill here, so unfortunately again we don't have the earthquake, but we're going to spam these weather balls at a rapid rate, and we should be able to get our switch clock back up before they are able to get to 2 play roughs. And so they get to the first one here. I'm going to let this go through. I'm going to keep on spamming the weather balls here, and then I'm just going to farm up a bunch of energy before switching out into the Mantine. So I'm farming up, switch into the Mantine. I actually get the bubble beam off before they get to a charge move, which is perfect. Once again, they don't shield that, but that's fine with me. You're going to throw a debuff to play rough, doesn't take us out. We're going to get to another bubble beam here, and we debuff them once again, and I'm just going to let the Mantine go down there. My mum was trying to call me there, so that's why that message popped up. I was just seeing who it was. And I come in with the Deoxys. I get a little farm down here. I expect the Marowak to come in. They actually come in with Registeel and they switch into the Marowak. So this is perfect. I've got loads of energy here. Get a shield with the Weather Ball. I'm going for another Weather Ball here. This will do a lot of damage to the Marowak. And I am going to shield this up and get to 1 more Weather Ball. They go for the Bone Club. I go for the Weather Ball here. We're going to undercharge this so that we can still farm them down with the Deoxys. I let them get to another charge move. This is going to take me out, and then the Fire Spin damage won't register on the Deoxys as I take them out with a Poison Jab. And at this point, we're going to be able to land the Zap Cannon. We still have a shield. Even if they Zap Cannon us, I think this will be fine. They actually go for Flash Cannon. We're going to get to the Zap Cannon, and finally, the moment you've been waiting for, boom, we take out the Registeel with a neutral charge move from pretty much full health, and we're able to take that game. So that's going to be it for today's video. I did land it a few more times, but once again it was once my elo or my hidden elo had dropped down so far that I was going up against Pokemon with maybe not the most ideal movesets, or just not very good Pokemon in general, so I didn't really want to include too many battles like that. But let me know if you did enjoy today's video. It's a bit different from what I normally do, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment letting me know what you thought about the battles, as well as your answer to today's question of the day. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.